Hi, today I'm going to share a few facts about my favorite poet, Dr. Maya Angelou. Dr. Maya Angelou was a civil rights activist, an award winning author and poet, an actress, and a screenwriter. She was originally born as Marguerite Annie Johnson on April 4th, 1928, in St. Louis, Missouri. At the age of 7, she endured a traumatic sexual assault from her mother's boyfriend, which resulted in her becoming mute and refusing to speak for the next 5.5 years after the incident occurred. As a teenager, she moved to San Francisco, California, where she gave birth to her only child, Guy Johnson, and she pursued a career as a waitress. And soon after, she became the first Black female cable car conductor before she finished her studies. In 1952, she started a career as a dancer and singer, and that's when she created her name. Maya was a childhood nickname that her brother gave her, and Angelou came from her husband's last name, which was Angelou Poulos. She took the first portion and made Maya Angelou, which she decided to be her professional name that she kept throughout the rest of her life. In 1957, she released her first album, Miss Calypso. Later in her career, she took interest in writing, and throughout the early 1960s, she moved to Cairo, Egypt, and became the editor of the English Language Weekly for Arab Observer. Then she moved to Ghana to become the editor of Ghana Times. In 1964, she returned to America to help Malcolm X build his African American Unity Organization, but sadly, he was assassinated the following year. Fast forward to 1970, Maya wrote her famous memoir, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, and it was the first nonfiction bestseller by an African American woman. In 1982, Maya became a Reynolds Professor of American Studies at Wake Forest University. In 1993, she was the second person to ever recite a poem at an inaugural ceremony for Bill Clinton. She went on to write numerous books and poems and starred in films such as Roots. On May 28, 2014, she died in her home in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, at the age of 86. She was a remarkable woman, and her legacy will always live on. She was such an inspiration for the African American community. Two of my favorite quotes from Maya Angelou are as follows. I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And the last quote is, my mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive, and to do so with some passion, some compassion, some humor, and some style. She will always be my favorite poet.